special effects. What is up, Jam fam? It has been a good long while since we've jammed here because, we've been incredibly busy here in the JJJ studio. Lots of stuff going on. You may have noticed that a couple of weeks ago I wrote and recorded a song, which was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's probably why people pay other people to do that kind of thing for them. But that was exhausting and I didn't want to look at a computer for like 2 weeks. I also made a picnic table for my wife recently, which has taken up a lot of my time. And then I made a big, giant Lord of the Rings themed knife for a friend of mine for his wedding day. And that also took up a lot of my time. But now I'm back. I'm focused. And I'm ready to... That is the biggest squirrel I have ever seen. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, I'm ready to jam.
It's a Jewish Jesus Jamboree. Bow!
Today we're going to start a new multi-part series about one of my very favorite ancient Jewish prayers. Comment below which ancient Jewish prayer is your favorite. This prayer comes from Deuteronomy chapter 6 verses 4 and 5. It's called the Shema, and it goes like this. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, ve'achavta et Adonai Elohecha, vechol lavavcha, uvechol nafshecha, uvechol meodecha. Or, for those of you who have not taken the unnecessary time to memorize things in ancient Hebrew, it goes like this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And you must love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your strength. Like I said before, this prayer comes from the book of Deuteronomy, which is the 5th book in the Hebrew Bible. And the word Deuteronomy comes from a Greek word that means repetition or copy, and it's sometimes called the second law. The whole entire book is a big speech from Moses to the Israelites, reminding them of everything that God has done and begging them not to forget. But the most observant among you might say, but dude, this channel's called Jewish Jesus Jamboree. Deuteronomy was written way before Jesus showed up. What does this have to do with him? That is a phenomenal question, O observant one. Let's take a look at Matthew chapter 22 to find the answer to that. In Matthew chapter 22, we see a teacher of religious law who's asking Jesus which one of the 613 commandments is the most important one. And Jesus responds with the Shema. He tells the guy that the most important commandments are to love the Lord your God with all of your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself, which comes from Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Jesus says that these two commandments sum up all that's written in the law and the prophets, or the Hebrew Bible, which I'm sure you remember is the same thing as the Old Testament of our Bible. You sit, I sit, long time. Chip break? Anyway, so Jesus answers the guy's question with the Shema, and everybody in the audience would have been very familiar with the Shema because they had probably just said it like that morning. The taste of the Shema was probably still in their mouths, much like the taste of a tortilla chip is still in mine. Because Jews to this day pray the Shema twice a day, every single day. Once in the morning, once in the evening. When they pray it, they continue much further into Deuteronomy 6, and it's a lot longer. So we're just going to focus on the first 2 verses here. So we're going to be diving into the meaning of this prayer, and there are 3 reasons for that. The first one is that Jesus said that this was one of the 2 most important things in the Bible, so we should probably pay attention. The second is that every Hebrew word in the Shema is just loaded with meaning that our English language just can't express. And the third thing is that learning Hebrew is super cool, and it's super fun, and it's cool, so that's why. So, starting with the next video, we're going to be going through the Shema one word at a time, breaking down every word and finding out why Jesus said this was one of the most important commandments. That is coming up very, very soon. I am super pumped. I hope that you're super pumped. And I'll see you on the next episode of the
Jewish Jesus Jamboree. Bow!
It's so good.